Hello, everyone. I'm Karissa Dunham from Shining Light on Minnesota. We have a very special guest here with us today, Jessica from Moxie Mala. Welcome, Jessica.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You bet. So let's let our viewers know and understand a little bit, what is Moxie Mala and how did you get into it?
So Moxie Mala's is a jewelry company,
Yeah.
but it goes beyond the jewelry and into the message of personal empowerment. And we have all kinds of workshops and retreats and experiences that we take people beyond their bracelet and into their intentions.
Very good. So you started off back in the day with meditation and yoga. Have you always been into that? And how did you transform from the meditation and the yoga into the jewelry and into the crystals and everything?
Yeah, it's really interesting because no, I was not always into it.
Right?
I was a distance runner, a soccer player, snowboarder, like
All
really,
the things hard on your body and
yeah,
go, go, go.
Yeah, very intense and very competitive, and
Yep.
you know. And then I was on a treadmill at LA Fitness one time and looking down at the studio thinking, I wonder what they're doing in there.
Right. And what that can do for me, right?
Right, exactly. I was like, So I went and it changed my life.
Amazing.
I mean, not only the physical aspect of, it changed my gait as a runner. My stride was easier, longer,
Yeah.
faster kind of thing. But the peace of mind that came with it and the personal reflection and evolution that came as a follower of the practice was huge.
Yeah. And I think what people don't realize in the meditation and the yoga world, how that not only incorporates into your everyday life, but into your thought process and into just
huge.
everything, all the full aspect, the full circle that it can
Yeah.
have and change on you.
Absolutely.
Are you from the area originally?
Yeah, I grew up in Shoreview.
Oh, fun.
So I went to Mounds View for a
Yep.
couple years.
Very familiar with that one.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
And then Concordia Academy after that. But I grew up in Shoreview. Didn't go far. I think I've lived along Lexington my whole life.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
other than college, I went to UW Stout, but
Right.
then, which wasn't far.
Nope, not at all. It
I had
seems
all
like an
these-
extended Lexington, but
Right.
we're good.
Right? There's probably even a Lexington there. Who
Right.
knows? I mean, I thought I was going to be in New York City. I was going to move, all this stuff.
Yeah.
I have a degree in apparel design and
Okay.
fashion. And I got out to New York and went, oh, shoot, this isn't what I want.
Right? Yeah.
And then came back. But I grew up in a family business, so I definitely had a soft landing.
Yep.
And definitely was shown how you can build something yourself.
Right.
Too, so.
And how do you find time in your day? Obviously, you have a family too. You have your kids. They're seeing all the things and cool things mom's doing. It's been
Yeah.
around for 10 years now. That's a
Yeah.
long time. How do you incorporate them into what you do and let them see that the sky's the limit for them as well?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's been evolving.
Yeah.
So I started this when I was pregnant with my second son. So they've been around. I mean, it's been part of their whole life. And it started out just being in the studio with me.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, Mom? I want to make a bracelet.
Right.
They have their own box. Because
Yep.
I had my one son made a really expensive bracelet one time
boy.
with really nice stones. Because I use all
Beautiful.
genuine stones and crystals.
Okay.
He goes to school and comes back without it. I'm like, where's your bracelet?
Oh, boy.
He's like, oh, my friend liked it. I'm like, okay.
We're just going to hop it off their wrist and put it on theirs and not know anything about it. And
Right?
Yep.
I'm like, okay, here's your bead box.
Yep.
But yeah, so from that and now, my older son is 11, and he is curious now and wants to come to shows, and he wants
Yeah.
to work the booth and,
Oh, fun.
and talk to customers. He loves people.
Loves people. Yeah.
And so being able to see that interaction, he also got to see me speak on a panel at a convention.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yep. What have been some of your favorite, speaking parts and panel discussions that you've had so far?
I just had a panel discussion this spring about I bought a crystal, so now what? And that was
what does
so
it mean?
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people are like stones and crystals, what is this woo woo,
Yeah.
But really it comes down to vibration, intention. We are vibration and frequency. And so are the stones and crystals. The only difference is ours is always ebbing and flowing.
Right.
And so the stones help us to find balance. And so it was fun to do the panel, to hear what the other panelists had to say in their thoughts about how to use them and different things. And then also to hear what the crowd was curious about.
Yep.
So that
And
was
what
fun.
kind of what they think about it. Everybody, they're not always open-minded to the world of astrology and into crystals and things like that.
Yeah.
Tell people how you incorporate the crystals and everything like that with the zodiacs, everything that's out there too.
With the zodiac.
Yeah.
So I just launched my zodiac collection.
Yes, I
which
know.
was very exciting. We changed it up. So we had a zodiac collection for 7 years, and I had based those on the personality types of each of the zodiacs and what stones and crystals would bring balance based on your supposed personality of your
Right.
sign. And this time we did a little different. I worked with a sound healer who used radiesthesia testing to find the frequency match of the stones to the planets.
Oh, nice.
So NASA has some recordings from the different planets. And
Right.
so they used frequencies to see what would align. And each zodiac sign has a ruling planet.
Cool.
And so each bracelet for the zodiac is a 100% frequency match to your ruling planet. So it really supports all energies based on this planet that kind of influences you.
What about with the way the world's going and the planet's changing and growing and evolving? Do those stones and do the options for the stones and the healing aspect change?
No, the stones are still going to keep their frequency.
Okay.
The planets still have their frequencies.
Right.
Their positions, yes, will change, how we each individually react.
Yeah.
And what's unique about that, too, is that each of us has our own chart,
Right.
unique down to the minute that we're born.
Yep.
And, so having the stones and crystals or the bracelets for your sun, your moon, your rising, let's say, so the big three we call them,
Yep.
is going to be really supportive to bring you balance as all these crazy things are happening in the world.
Right.
And huge astrological things that are happening. 2025 is the
Yeah,
year,
I know, right? Yep.
Yeah, and so just the more that people can connect with their own vibration and connect with their own energies, their own intentions, and keep themselves level
And present and all the things.
Yes.
Yep.
and present and balanced while there's chaos going around.
Right.
I just had my Moxie monthly bracelet this last month was the chaos and the calm.
Oh, yes.
So how do we dance with both? You
Right.
know?
Well, and because as a female, as a mom, as business owner that you are,
Yeah.
and all the other things that go on in the world, it's like one of those things you have to learn to, okay, I'm here. Like,
Yeah.
be grounded.
How to
Yes.
land.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you found that when you did yoga, meditation, things like that, that people were still a little unintentional with it? They're just there to be there and not trying to find their peace and their calm?
I think that you'll find that in any kind of activity or practice because people are so in their own heads and so all over the place, right? And I would say that as a teacher, I mean, I don't want to judge, why people are there, what their intentions are. There are definitely people who go to yoga as a physical practice.
Right.
They want to work out, they want to get fit, they want to get it flexible, that
yeah.
kind of a thing,
Yep.
which, the practice is for everyone.
Absolutely.
And you are also allowed to use it however you want. So I would say there are some people who dive deeper into the philosophy, like Ashtanga, the eight-limbed path, things like this, versus like I'm here to do the splits.
Right. Yeah. Like
Or
I'm just here to say I'm here. I'm here to,
Yeah.
let's just get more flexible. Let's
I'm
do
here
it.
to nail my handstand.
Yep.
Which is, if that's a goal in your life and that's what you want to work on, I think that's great too. I'm
For
not,
sure.
you know.
There's no one to judge. It's just you're there, and that's great that
Yeah.
you're there, you know?
Right, exactly.
So what do you tell people when they want to get into crystals? What their purpose is and how they find the right ones that work for them?
I would say it's definitely all about intuition, which is interesting because some people are like, I'll say if you go into a rock shop,
Yeah.
you will be drawn to the ones that will serve you.
Yep.
Right. And so you'll go in and you might feel something and people are like, these are rocks. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't feel anything.
Yeah. I just see it and it's pretty and we're
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Or
And
whatever.
I love that you say that
Yeah.
because, it's pretty. Yes, your eye
Is
is
drawn to
to
it,
it
but there's
for
something
a
else,
reason.
right?
That's your
Yep.
intuition, right? People, I think, our intuition is so subtle and also sometimes really strong, just depending on the situation. And I think people need to give themselves more credit.
Right.
So when
Yep.
we're drawn to something like that and you can walk in and say, oh yeah, this is for me, trust that.
Yeah.
Now, if you walk in and you're like, I feel nothing still, and you might be in a place in your life where you're like really shut down,
Shut down.
really
Yeah.
low.
Like
And
blocking
that's
the world off.
right. And we've all been there. I mean,
Yep.
I've been there. Holy cow.
Oh, yeah.
So I would suggest starting with rose quartz. It's widely available,
Yep.
very affordable, and it touches on our heart. And our heart has 108 energy lines that intersect more than anywhere in our body.
Yeah.
So if you go into a rock shop, I would say go for rose quartz if you're feeling a little lost. Otherwise, obsidian, amethysts are great. Others, trust your intuition. You'll know.
Do you have people that come up to you and be like, okay, this is what I'm going through. This is where I need my peace. This is where I need my calm. And you can help guide them into, what might work for them, might not work.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually, at Moxie Mala, we developed a bracelet workshop.
Yeah.
So we walk people through creating intention, taking
Nice.
a reflective moment on their life. Where am I at? Where do I need balance?
Yeah.
We talk about the 7 chakras, the main energy centers, how the stones and crystals can support that, and they each make their own custom bracelet
Very
with the
cool.
stones and crystals based on your specific intention.
Do you see that with the younger generation, they're kind of get more honing into their chakras and all their belief systems and everything like that versus some of the older generations? It's shifting a little bit?
It's really interesting because I've been thinking about this lately, actually, and looking at my numbers, my demographics and stuff, like who's interested.
Right.
And I would definitely say the younger generations are a little more open to it because it's so widely available now. I mean, social media, there's astrology,
makes it,
crystal, everything is everywhere,
Yeah.
right? I will say, though, the older generations are very much more into the self-study.
Yeah, and the deeper meaning behind it too.
And the healing and what is my purpose and, you know, wait a minute, what am I doing here?
How can I reset because I've been through life, you know?
Yeah. Or, these long stories that people have held on to. I mean, I've read books with case studies where, you know, people are in their 60s and just seeing it, you know? So I get those people too, you know? And I think those are more, you know, the little bit older generation. I would say, well, not older. We're not old.
No,
right?
but yeah.
35, but like 35 to 55 versus like, you know, 20s, early 30s, I would say are very much more self-aware.
Yep.
And curious about themselves.
Well, and I think like we were touching on, the social media makes it a big thing. Obviously, you have the opportunities to get your readings or see what your chakras are or just find out what people are doing to be more holistic too. I think that's a big thing for sure. I know that instead of, you know, even in the medical world, let's take a step back and see how we can heal ourselves first.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And how our bodies are divine healers. You know, I mean, these machines are incredible.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Right. You know, if we just get out of their way sometimes.
Right. Work smarter, not harder, but also, you know, just be at peace. And I think that's one thing that in everybody's world, I know I've talked more and more about it with people lately, with all the multitasking, everything that you do, but just being present and being there in the moment and being able to shut things off for a little bit and just have those conversations and find out who people are and what their main purpose is too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's one of our main soul's desires is purpose.
Absolutely.
Why
right?
am I here?
Yep. What's my purpose in the business and in myself? And
especially as a business owner, right? You're like, what are we doing here?
And is this going to shift in the future? How am I going to make this all work? Yep.
Yeah. Right? And I think a lot of companies face that in 2020. I mean, I watched my calendar of events be wiped clean.
Yeah.
So
right.
then you're like, okay, how do I shift?
now do I do social? Do I do in person? Do I get people here? What do I do?
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
How has your business changed in the last 10 years? I mean, obviously with the shift through COVID and through technology and everything like that, do you see more people starting to finally come back out and get into the store and find what's best for them versus getting online?
I would say online shopping is still very, very strong, especially when you link everything with social media. People are very boop, boop, boop in the moment.
And I'm buying it, TikTok sales, everything like that.
Yes, exactly. I would say, though, people are craving community. And so the events and things like that, like workshops. And, you know, in January, I used to do a big event. And we get a bunch of people there and come together to create intentions and just live on purpose.
Right.
You know.
How do you tell people when they come and they say, I need to find purpose in my world? Like, what do you drive them towards? Do you help them with like the zodiacs and with the crystals, or do you kind of start at the base where you're at? Kind of how do you work through that?
I always love to start at the base where you at.
Yep.
Because if you are not knowing where you're coming from, what's your your starting point is,
right?
How are you going to navigate forward? You know, this is where I am right now. And also, that's part of our workshops. That's the very first thing we do. These 12 areas of balance. Where are you satisfied? Where are you not satisfied? And also, when we do that, to do it with a lot of compassion and empathy for yourself, and know that this is a snapshot of this moment.
Right.
I think some people get really married to their story.
Yeah.
They get attached to their suffering because that's who they are.
Yep.
And then you ask, you know, what would happen if you set it down?
Right.
What would happen if you know, looked at it in a different angle?
Right.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, you look back 5 years ago, 10 years ago, what was big then? It's like,
so
I lived through it. Like, let's just keep going and see where we're at today.
And that's an interesting one too, is I see trends show up too about what, like I'll go to certain shows and it'll be all heart chakra, all love. And then all of a sudden there's been shifts and everything is about change.
Yeah.
Everything is about finding your voice and then standing in your light. And
right.
then, okay, now back to heart healing, because I realized I'm trying to speak this truth, but there's something in me holding me back. You know, there's so many different nuances.
Right. Well, and everybody is always about change and how can I grow and improve, and with the way the world's going, how am I going to survive, and just everything like that. So it's just trying to kind of bring it back down too.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things when I talk about purpose is also reminding people that purpose is not a role that you inhabit.
Right.
You know, my purpose is not mother. Yeah, I love that role and I'm going to embody it.
Right.
But it's not a business owner. It's not any of this. Our purpose is who we are when we show up to do whatever we do.
Right.
And I feel like when I'm teaching that, people's shoulders come down a little. They're like, oh, thank you.
Right. I needed that. Like, I'm here now. I can just relax.
I can show up into whatever I decide to do as me, and that's your purpose, how you show up, versus I got to figure out what's my perfect job, or who, what business am I supposed to start? It doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, it does.
It matters, but it doesn't,
Right.
It's not your main goal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who are or have been some of your mentors that have gotten you deeper into the connections, the chakras, all that stuff?
Definitely doing my yoga training. So I did my 200-hour at Core Power, but then when I went into my 300-hour to finish the 500, I was with Tanya Boyganzan at Divanati Yoga. Phenomenal.
Nice.
Phenomenal teachings, dove deep into the philosophies, the history of the practice and where it comes from, of India, all of these things. And it was just really beautiful to be steeped in such tradition.
Have you done any traveling where you've studied meditation and studied all of that, or is it more just kind of the local based?
I have traveled, but not to India.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those that's like, okay, I need to go there now.
It's on my list. I have small children.
Yep,
so
right.
Someday.
One of those days,
I will be there.
Yep.
I have done retreats in Costa Rica and things like that, too.
Cool.
And then I lead retreats that, focus on meditation and personal transformation.
Speaking of leading, do you see that when your kids, obviously you've talked about like your 11-year-old getting out there and trying to start doing things, do you see that he kind of follows in your footsteps in some of the things that you've said he's incorporating into his everyday life?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it's interesting because sometimes he'll say things around adults, that are very emotionally intelligent, and they're like, what?
Where did this come from?
Where did that come from? And I was like, well,
Yeah, he is my son. We're good. That's my kid.
We talk all the feels, And speaking of astrology, he is a Scorpio.
Oh, there you go.
Both my boys are Scorpios, so there's lots of emotion.
Oh, for sure, yep.
So I'm just learning that. But yeah, and also they want to start a business this summer. They're like, Mom, we want to do this year. And
Very good.
Said, okay, so
important.
Let's sit down and let's look at,
your plan.
What's your plan? What are the brass tacks of it?
Right.
Because as much as I love the spiritual world and teaching and embodiment, I also love business.
Yep, absolutely. And let's see what the plan is and how we're going to incorporate it, if it's going to be Amazon or what it's going to be or whatever.
Right. Yeah. So
that's exciting. Do you have people that come in and say, okay, like this is my sign, like I'm a Capricorn, I'm a Scorpio. Who would that align with? Who would it not align with? Or just want to dig in deeper with their zodiacs too?
You mean like are there zodiacs that are more attracted to it than others? Or
that, or just wanting to know more about their signs and their zodiacs?
Yeah, people do, definitely, especially when they are looking at the zodiac collection. And when I did this last launch, I actually did a series of videos. They're 10-minute videos on each sign.
Okay, so they know who they are and what their sign is and everything like that.
Yeah, so like if you're a Scorpio sun, this is what it might look like. If you're a Scorpio moon, this is what it looks like. Right. Or if you're a Scorpio rising. And so just seeing like how do these affect each other, and also knowing that you are more than your sun sign.
Right.
Like our moon sign is very much our emotional body and our internal world. And then our rising sign is very much like the seat of our soul and how we show up, versus how we're perceived.
Yep.
So it's really interesting.
So with all the talks of zodiac, chakra, everything like that, and being grounded in the world, I know a lot of people are talking about the different temperatures too. Like you have the cold plunges, you have the saunas, you just having your feet on the ground, getting out in nature, things like that. Do you guide with that as well?
I haven't guided with that because personally I'm still exploring it.
Right.
And we've done cold plunges. We built one in our backyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I haven't done any guiding around it. No. I mean, I really love it.
Yeah.
And my older son, I don't know about ADHD. We haven't had any testing done or anything like that, but the dopamine aspect of it, he can kind of shut down. And I had him do a cold plunge of just his face in an ice pool.
Yep.
All his homework, room clean.
Done. Okay, we're gonna do this once a week.
We just need a little dopamine. Here we go.
Yep, we're good.
And when I do an ice plunge, I feel amazing afterwards.
Yeah.
And when my husband does it, sometimes he can feel really drained. So it's interesting.
Or you get into like the red light therapy or just being barefoot in the world, just all the different things that are out there. And then you start digging in deeper. It's like, okay, do you believe in life after death? Do you believe in, all of the things? And it's like, how do you stay focused in your own little world without getting out there and seeing what else is out there?
I think it's really, how do I stay focused on this versus all of the things is hard.
Right. Well, you want to know, you want to learn so you can educate, right?
And But that's the other part. So I do dabble in a lot of things so that I can share what I have found.
Right.
But as far as like what my specialty is stones and crystals and creating intention.
Yep.
That's definitely my lane, so to speak. Because I've had people be like, you should do essential oils because a lot of the bracelets can hold essential oils.
Or ayahuasca or getting out there and doing the cold plunges. It's just, there's so many.
There's so many different things. Yeah, and psilocybin, all these things. Yeah. And so Yeah, I definitely am knowledgeable about a lot of different topics, but as far as diving deep on any of them and teaching further, I try to stay in my lane.
Well, and there's people out there that do study those, so let me
That's
put
what
you
I
in
was
touch
just
with
gonna
those.
say. I have a huge community. I have a broad circle of people that I know. So if you want to know something more about that, let me introduce you.
Absolutely. Let me connect.
Let me connect you. I love connecting people
Yep.
because then when people need information about stones and crystals,
Right.
I'm the person.
You're the professional in that area.
Right. Exactly. So, or meditation or yoga, that kind of thing. So I definitely appreciate everybody's niche.
What in the meditation world has changed in the last couple of years?
I would say there's a lot more of the apps that people have access to, which is fantastic. Like there's an app called Insight Timer. I tell it to everybody, it's a free app.
Yeah.
I don't get any commission. Nothing.
Right, yeah.
But it's such a huge well of knowledge from thousands of yoga and meditation teachers. So you can really like listen to guided meditations or classes or, ambient music, that kind of thing. So I would say the accessibility to free resources is huge right now.
Do you feel that takes away, like when people have yoga apps or meditation apps, that takes away from some of the world of like the connecting and being grounded? Or do you feel that they can really still get the same outlook on it when they do it?
I think that your outlook can still be improved or worked on, on your own. I do think that there is a benefit to the community aspect of it because that's what they say, right? We're more connected than ever, but more isolated than ever.
Absolutely,
So yes, that's true. And I would say that it's such a great way to get people in the door, so to speak, or their toe in the water who might not otherwise. There's people, like it was 2021 January, right? So still things were like we were not gathering,
right?
So we did a virtual retreat instead of an in-person one.
Cool.
And I had people give feedback of, I'm so glad you did this because I have debilitating social anxiety. So I would never go, but now I was able to receive this information.
For sure, yeah.
So there's those benefits.
Well, and I think people's schedules these days are a lot more hectic. I mean, obviously having kids, things like that too, just being able to get out there and be in the moment when they have, not really when they have time, they can always make time, but when they need to reset or when they need those things to have them at their fingertips to help them get in the door too.
Absolutely. And I also love to say too, like when you say make time for it, is remember that more than zero is winning. Like,
yeah. Any step is progress, right?
If you stopped and you took 3 mindful breaths, you did it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yep.
you know? So I think people are like, I got to sit for an hour and meditate.
No, just short bursts, whatever it may be.
Whatever.
Anything is better than anything.
And the thing is, and the thing too is that like your spirit, your energy body and all of that is going to love it and want more of it.
Right. It's going to just draw you right in. And pretty soon you're going to be like, okay, now all the other stuff is stuff and I need to do this.
Yeah.
Do you feel that with the world, the way it's changing, going to with people wanting to learn more and wanting to educate and get out there, that there's going to be more people that'll help promote and help understand the chakras and the jewels and the crystals and everything too?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a training program actually where I bring people through a whole training series of how to lead the workshops. And so then they go out and they lead workshops too. Yeah, because I think I was thinking about that the other day too, about how when you get such good information or something so healing for yourself, you want everyone to know. You're like, oh my gosh, this changed my world and I am so better off for it.
Right.
I want to tell everybody.
Right. I mean, the same goes with the negative aspect too.
True.
The more
True.
That spreads almost more viral than anything if you have a bad experience somewhere.
Yeah.
But it still draws people in and makes them want to know, what is this then? Why? And where did you have the hiccup?
Oh yeah. People are like, what's going on?
Yeah, right. Quick on social, like, oh my gosh, here's the Reddits, here's all that. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think's next for you in your world and where you're at right now?
It's interesting because I'm going through a lot of change right now, personally and with my business.
Yeah.
I am really focusing on that Zodiac collection when I launched it, and the series of videos was very well received, and I loved doing it.
Oh, good.
So I'm going to be doing more educational series like that, where they're free and they're just videos and just teaching about what are these concepts behind the jewelry on a little bit deeper level. Right. Versus like the hang tag that comes with it.
Here's just the quick little tagline, so you can know more and understand it fully. How many workshops do you do, and how many are you thinking about doing in the series with the Zodiac?
So the Zodiac, I did 12 videos.
Okay.
One for each sign. For workshops with the bracelet workshops and things like that, it just depends on the month and the season, how many. I've been teaching those for 7 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can have 4 in a week or 1 in a month. It depends. Summer gets a little slower.
Right. Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, people are out and about and their hustle's a little bit different versus the winter. They need to kind of figure things out a little bit more.
Yeah.
What do you feel like in the business world with where you're at? Do you see growth as far as other locations? Are you going to stay right in Fridley, or what do you think there?
Everything that I do is so online that I'll probably stay just Fridley.
Yeah. Yep.
I do have ideas in my mind of opening a retail location. So my spot in Fridley is by appointment only. It's really just my studio space. I also offer Reiki out of there.
Okay.
And but as far as like a retail location, I've thought about it and having like a whole crystal shop and everything. We have a huge garden in our backyard.
Very cool.
And we do a lot of canning and food preservation because we grow a lot of food.
Yep.
And we're in suburbia.
Yep.
But
right?
I want to open a store called like Crystals and Canning. I think it'd be
there
so
you go.
fun. Just have like all of it.
Well, because then you can have all the people in. You can do your canning. You can get your jewels. You can get the crystals. You can do the Reiki.
Teach classes on all of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's just have it one whole good shop. Natural, right?
Right.
So for people that don't know, tell them what Reiki is and how you got into that.
Yeah, so Reiki healing, Reiki energy healing is energy healing. Yeah. So you're using the subtle energies of the person that you're working on and your own and any divine helpers that want to come in and helping to just remove energetic blocks or move energy within the body. And as a Reiki practitioner, a lot of it is holding space for people to just feel safe to do their own energy work and their own healing.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And sometimes it's hands-on, sometimes it's not. Traditionally, Reiki is hands-off. You're not actually touching the person.
Right.
Hands-on healing is also, that would be more like, I have my hands on your knees, for example, or whatever. And you can kind of do a hybrid of both. I always ask. Though.
Do you do groups or do you do one-on-one, or how do you?
I do one-on-one for Reiki, The way I've been doing it is one-on-one session with somebody where you come in, you tell me, what are you working on? Do you have any pains in your body, that kind of a thing, or any emotions that might be kind of wanting to
something
move.
Heavy, shift.
And so then we work with the energy centers based on that. And then I'll kind of feel into, what is going on. And then what I'll offer then after is a custom bracelet too. Yep. So then here's the stones and crystals that we used. I'll lay crystal grids on them while they're receiving. And then a bracelet to go with
What are some of your favorite crystals for you, and what has worked for you?
You ask me all that time.
I know, right?
What is your favorite crystal?
Yeah.
That's like asking what's my favorite kid.
I know, right? They all are. It just depends on my mood and my shifts and where I need to be, right? Yeah.
I would say I love garnet personally. I just love it. It is very grounding, very stabilizing, and then re-energizes all 7 chakras. Yep. So it's just a really beautiful stabilizing stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you study and do you know, obviously, your zodiac sign, and how does that incorporate into your everyday life?
My zodiac?
Yeah.
So I'm a Virgo sun, but then I'm a Sagittarius moon and a Capricorn rising.
Very cool.
So I have a lot of earth energy happening in my body and like my aura, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's going to be very like grounding, organized, that kind of a thing. But then that Sagittarius moon is very fiery. And so I've had people say, oh, you're not a typical Virgo. You know? And I'm like, I know, I got that Sag in there. Yep.
I've got a little bit of that in there. We're good. Yeah. Yep.
So I got that creative fire, but also the stability to keep it moving forward.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Do you see that when people are out there, like let's say they want to have a bachelorette party and they want to come in and get jewelry, that they do it all together to try to kind of hone in and get to the moment?
Yeah, usually what they'll do is have me come into their location, and I'll teach that workshop.
Very cool.
Yep, and lead them through it and have something a little bit more meaningful to take away from that.
Yep.
Or I've also had brides say, oh, I want to gift, a custom bracelet
for sure
for my bridal party. Yeah, I'll do that too.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Who have been some of your other clients, and how do people get a hold of you when they are out there?
Yeah, I've done a lot of collaborating with some TV personalities that are like in the paranormal field.
Yeah. Yep.
And so usually, you can reach out via email or just from the website. I'm very easy to find, very easy to get a hold of. Social media, any of those you can reach out. And then I have a form you can fill out and everything, and walk you through the process of co-creating what is this bracelet that represents you, your business, your clients, the meaning behind what you're doing, your message.
How do you see a shift with the paranormal and with the way people are starting to let more out about that and the afterlives and everything that's out there? Do you see more people coming to you saying, hey, I need to get peace, or I need to see what this is, or fully understand what I am seeing? Yeah,
I do have a lot of people, but mostly when they come to me, it's for protection.
Yeah.
They're like, I need stones and crystals that are going to protect me from this negative energy.
Yep.
Or they want to heighten their intuition. I'm seeing these things.
I need to understand what it is and
how can I amplify it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's where people are coming to me for stones and crystals usually.
Cool. And do you have people, if they want to get in touch with what they're seeing, what they're feeling, you have the connections of here's some people that'll help guide you through those too, for sure?
I do. Yeah. I have connections to people who teach like psychic development courses, things like that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't teach that, but I know lots
people,
of people.
Right? Yeah. All the people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you think with the younger generation that are out there that are starting to feel things, see things, getting on the internet that just, it's another fad. It's another thing that's out there. How do you help them understand that it's not just a fad, that it's an actual thing that'll help heal you?
I think that it's more, or in order to do that, it's about teaching them to listen to their intuition and teaching them to really come within.
This is your gut instinct versus what it's...
Right.
Yeah.
Gut instinct versus intuition too.
Right.
And even teaching what's the difference there, right? And how they dance with each other. And I would also say it's not a fad because it doesn't go away.
Right.
It's
still there.
It's still there.
Yep. It's still your intuition.
Energy is always going to be there. Your intuition's always going to be there. I will say your intuition can get loud and it can get quiet.
Right.
Because how loud is your mind? So I think it's more about teaching them to be aware of their own energy body and how they are navigating that within all of these other energies.
Right.
That goes back to the chaos and the calm. You
absolutely.
have all of this noise around you. What's the sound that you make?
Right.
And
how do you keep that calm? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And how do you, and it's not to say that like calm is the only way.
No.
I mean, we have emotions. Like I've taught about the
And it's okay to have the emotions. Sometimes you need those to get back to where you need to be too.
Well, and our emotions are like a compass. They're telling you, hey, something's out of alignment here. Okay, so let me be curious. Why am I angry? Like, why am I wanting to flip tables?
Right. Or what am I seeing? What am I feeling? Like, why am I scared?
Why do I fear? Yeah. Why am I fear? Why do I fear? How can I move that into courage? How can I move my anger towards wonder?
Right.
All of these things. Yeah. So I would say that the paranormal, the psychic abilities, the energies, that, they're calling it the Great Awakening, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a fad because once your eyes are open to all of it, you can't close them again.
Right.
It's there.
Right. Well, and a lot of times people are like, hey, I saw this on TikTok. I saw this on Snap. I saw this somewhere on social media or someone was wearing it. Yeah. I want to do it to be like them. Well, no, find out why you need it. What the goal is, what's your purpose on it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's such a big deal because when I teach these workshops, I teach about the crown chakra and I talk about how it's our connection to the divine or something bigger than ourselves. But really important piece of that with stones, with crystals, with the chakras is that it doesn't belong to any one belief system. These are vibrations, these are energies, these are tools that you can put in your toolbox. Yep. And it's important, I would say, to stay connected to a lineage that is meaningful to you. Right. Whether that's a religion, whatever that is for
whatever
you.
That higher purpose is. Yeah.
Right. Maybe it's nature, maybe it's Gaia, humanity. Whatever it is, it's important to find teachers that are going to keep you connected and rooted and grounded in that truth. Yeah. While you're exploring as well. Because you can get lost.
Well, you can get lost. And sometimes the more you know, the more it could help you grow, but it could also get you deep into a path and a rabbit hole that you don't need to be at.
And I've seen that too, where people, so we have our bottom 3 chakras, which are very much our connection to earth and our external world, and our top 3, which are very much our internal world and metaphysical and the spiritual, right? And then the heart marries heaven and earth or inner and outer worlds. But people will all of a sudden come up here, and now they're out of their bodies too. So they're having a hard time processing things because they're not using their earthly body to stay here and grounded, and then they're spinning. I mean, I've been up there too.
I think everybody has at different times, different things. And
absolutely. Different life experiences or traumas.
Or just life and trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work day in, day out. You never know. Yeah. With your kids' up and coming business and your husband doing what he does and all the things, how do you make time for home life and try to separate the two, or do you bring them, kind of marry them both?
I think we kind of marry them both. So my husband owns 2 businesses as well. And for example, my boys don't have school today. Right. But I'm here. Yep. Right. Okay. So they're at work with dad right now.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
So we both grew up in family businesses. Yeah. So my husband runs his family business. I grew up in a flower shop. So we both are aware of like children being in the workplace.
Absolutely.
And so they're all
it's what it does. Yeah.
together.
It's all
Yeah.
the things.
Or if I have a show, my son Theo came with me to the show.
Oh, for sure. Yep. Yeah. And I think we've all done that, the kids are like your selling point too. They'll be like out there and be like, "Hey mom, this person needs this," or "I've seen this, mom. Like let's help them out. Let's do what we can do." Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that being said, it's also important though too to have that balance of like last year I flew 10 times I think for different shows.
Yeah.
Delta's like, "Thanks for flying with us for 10 times." I was like, I don't want to be gone
Here we
that
go.
much,
Yep.
I was like, "Thank you for pointing that out."
Yeah.
So just being aware of where am I putting my time, especially if my time is away from my family.
Right.
Just making sure that it's in alignment with what I'm trying to create.
Because kids only grow up once too, and you start losing that. And it's like, okay, where are you now? You're 21 and 19 and whatever you are.
Right.
All the things. Yeah. I think it's fun though too to see them, with any child or any kid or anybody out there, to be really inclined in what you're doing and saying, okay, mom's making a difference. Mom's found her why.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good to be that example. It's interesting too, like, I think, how do we get people to, know that anything is possible in their lives,
right.
And how do we get them to heal and this and that?
Yeah.
And I just heard so loudly, like intuitively, you don't. You just have to be the example.
Yep. You just lead
live
by
your
example.
Life. Yes, lead by example. And it was in anything, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, that's interesting. Okay.
Now I'll take a step back and think about that a little bit, but we're good. Not overthink it, but let's incorporate that into life.
Sure,
yes.
Easy enough. Yeah.
What do you think will be with social media, the way it's going, the trends are going on there with your online business? Do you think that that's going to keep growing and changing, or do you think that that'll kind of stay where it's at? What do you want to do with it?
That's what I'm going to be focusing on, growing and changing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where I want to bring more education, more videos. I realize, when you think about what lights you up, I light up when I'm teaching. I love teaching.
Yep.
And so I thought, why don't I just keep doing that? And so, and I was so worried about how do I price these workshops, package them, this and that. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put the info out there.
I'm going to be out there, yeah. The more people can find you and understand and learn, the more they're going to be drawn to you and try to find out more in the next and the jewelry and the zodiacs and everything, all the things, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, what people don't understand too is the more you're out there, the more people, whether they like it or not, they educate themselves.
Right.
And they want to know more, and they do come to you at the time. It might not be now, but it might be in the future. That's why we do podcasts and we do all the things. Let's grow together. Let's help you get your name out there and find your why too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting to have people who've been following me for years, never bought anything, and all of a sudden they'll place an order. How'd you hear about us? Oh, way back.
Yeah. I saw you 9 years ago.
Yeah,
okay.
This is your first order? Okay.
Right.
Well, welcome. Thank you.
Yes, yep. Well, it's hard too. I mean, in my world is trying to remember faces and names, but
it's
hearing their stories and finding their whys and being able to say, hey, I might have made a difference in your life today or somewhere in the future. Let's figure that out.
Yeah, definitely.
Where in Fridley are you, and how can people get in touch with you and have classes or make jewelry or find out the zodiacs, all of that stuff?
Yeah, in Fridley, we are on Old Central between Osborne and 72nd. We're right across from the American Legion.
Yep.
But we're in like a manufacturing building, so it's not anything fancy. It's more studio. It's by appointment only. So you'll need to reach out via the website. I have a email contact form there.
Okay.
But the website will have everything. The website has our trainings. It has our retreats. It has upcoming events and all kinds of stuff. And if you want to collaborate, there's a contact page on there. You can
get good. So if people want to do their own yoga meditation or do their own jewelry at their site, that's how they can get a hold of you too.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. And then I do have 2 apps. I have the Moxie Mala's app, and then I have the Moxie Life app.
Okay.
And the Moxie Life app has yoga and meditations that I'm going to be uploading on there.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
And is there a cost to doing some of the yoga meditation on there? Is that all free, or how do they?
I do have it right now as there's a $10 membership per month.
Yeah.
For the full library, but I do have like sample meditations.
Just so they can try it out and see what they think to get them in the door and see how it heals them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate having you on today, and we look forward to the future. And then on Thursday, when this rolls out, we'll do a nice little blog post about you and your business and Moxie Malas and everything else.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.